Okay, listen up, because we need to talk about Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, the one everyone claims is the cinematic masterpiece of the series. The one where Alfonso Cuarón came in, looked at the cute little wizard school Chris Columbus built, and said, "Nah, let's make everything gray, depressing, and incredibly angsty." Honestly, looking back at this movie, it's kind of wild how much the tone shifts. We go from, yay, magic candy, to, oh look, a soul-sucking demon is trying to kiss me on a train. It's a massive jump. And I get it, puberty hits hard, but Harry goes from a wide-eyed kid to a sassy, angry teenager in like 2 seconds flat. Let's start with the opening scene. Harry is under the covers playing with his wand. Insert joke here. But seriously, he's practicing magic Lumos Maxima in a house full of muggles who hate him. Isn't that illegal? Like, immediately illegal. The ministry sends him a letter for blowing up his aunt later, but flashing lights at 2 a.m. is fine? The inconsistency starts early, folks. And speaking of Aunt Marge, look, she's terrible. She's a dog breeder who looks like her dogs, which is a classic Rowling roast, but Harry inflating her like a parade balloon? That is body horror disguised as comedy. She floats away into the stratosphere. Does she die? Does she just orbit the Earth? We never really address the trauma of being turned into a human blimp. Then Harry runs away. He's sitting on a curb looking like an emo kid's MySpace profile picture and sees a giant black dog. This is supposed to be terrifying, but the dog is just staring at him like it wants a treat. It's obviously Sirius Black, but at this point we think it's the Grim, spooky omen of death, or just a stray that needs a bath. Enter the night bus. This sequence is pure fever dream energy. A shrunken head with a Jamaican accent? Why? Who asked for this? It feels like the director just wanted to flex his CGI budget. The bus squeezes between cars, defies physics, and nearly kills everyone. It's the perfect metaphor for wizard society. Completely chaotic, dangerous, and makes absolutely zero logical sense. Harry gets to the leaky cauldron and meets the Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge. This guy, he's treating Harry like a celebrity instead of a criminal who just assaulted a muggle. Oh, you blew up your aunt? Have a cookie, Harry. If this was Ron, he'd be in juvie. The privilege is real. Harry is basically above the law because a murderer is trying to kill him. Now let's talk about the Dementors, the guards of Azkaban. Dumbledore, the greatest wizard ever, decides the best security for a school full of children is literal depression monsters, creatures that suck the happiness out of you and can eat your soul. Welcome to Hogwarts, kids. Don't go near the perimeter or you'll be lobotomized. The train scene introduces us to Remus Lupin, the best defense against the dark arts teacher, hands down. Mostly because he actually teaches them stuff and doesn't try to kill them intentionally. He's sleeping on the train, looking like he hasn't showered in a week, and Harry faints because the Dementor gets too close. And Lupin's solution to traumatic soul drain? Chocolate. Eat this, you'll feel better. Is he a wizard or my grandma? We get to school and things look different. The geography of Hogwarts changes every movie, I swear. Hagrid's hut is down a hill now. There's a bridge that wasn't there before. The stairs move, sure, but the whole landscape? It's gaslighting the audience. And the uniforms. Nobody wears their robes properly anymore. Ties are loose, shirts untucked. It's very cool, rebellious teen aesthetic. Hagrid becomes a teacher. I love Hagrid, I really do. But who authorized this? His first lesson is with a hippogriff, a giant eagle horse that will rip your face off if you insult it. Go on, Harry, ride the murdered chicken. It's a miracle only Draco Malfoy got scratched. Malfoy acts like he's been shot, obviously. I'm dying, drama queen. Then there's the Boggart class. This is actually a cool concept, facing your fears. Neville's fear is Snape, which is funny but also sad. His teacher bullies him so much he's more afraid of him than, I don't know, Bellatrix Registrine? And the solution is to put Snape in a dress. Legendary. Alan Rickman in a grandmother's outfit is the peak of cinema. But here's my beef with the plot. Everyone thinks Sirius Black is trying to kill Harry. The security is tighter than Fort Knox, except it sucks. Sirius breaks in twice. He slashes the fat lady painting. He stands over Ron with a knife. For a mass murderer, he's really bad at killing the one specific boy he's allegedly after. He's just wandering the halls like a lost tourist. Let's discuss the Marauders map. Fred and George give it to Harry. It shows everyone's location in real time. This is NSA-level surveillance. How did two teenagers invent this? And more importantly, Fred and George had this map for years. They never noticed their brother Ron was sleeping every night with a guy named Peter Pettigrew. Think about it. You check the map. Oh, look, there's Ron in his dorm. And there's Peter Pettigrew? Who is that? Why is he in Ron's bed? They never asked questions? They never thought it was weird? Either the twins are incredibly unobservant or they just mind their own business to a fault. The climax of the movie is where things get really messy. The Shrieking Shack scene. It plays out like a soap opera. Sirius is there, Lupin bursts in, they hug. Suddenly, Snape is there. Harry knocks Snape out with a spell that sends him flying into a bed. Child assaulting a teacher? 10 points to Gryffindor. We find out Scabbers the rat is actually a grown man named Peter Pettigrew who has been living as a pet for 12 years. 12 years! Eating rat food? Letting Ron carry him around in his pocket? The psychological implications of this are too gross to even think about.
Then the truth comes out. Sirius isn't the bad guy. He's Harry's godfather. He's actually a pretty cool dude, just mentally unstable from being in wizard prison for a decade. Can we blame him? He wants Harry to come live with him. Harry says yes immediately. He's ready to leave the Dursleys to live with a fugitive he met 10 minutes ago. That's how bad the Dursleys are. But wait, the moon comes out. Lupin forgot to take his potion. He turns into a werewolf, a badly CGI'd werewolf that looks like a hairless chihuahua on steroids. Sirius turns into a dog to fight him. It's a furry brawl. Pettigrew escapes in the chaos because, of course, the plot needs Voldemort to come back later. Then the Dementors swarm. Hundreds of them. Harry tries to fight them off but passes out. He sees a Patronus, thinks it's his dead dad. Spoiler alert, it's him, from the future. This is where the movie introduces time travel, and honestly, this is where the logic of the Harry Potter universe completely breaks down. Hermione reveals she has a time turner. She's been using it all year to attend extra classes, to take Muggle studies and arithmancy. McGonagall gave a 13-year-old a device that can alter the fabric of reality just so she could be a nerd. That is the most irresponsible thing I have ever heard. They use the time turner to go back 3 hours. Their mission? Save Buckbeak the Hippogriff and save Sirius. Not stop Pettigrew? Not capture the real criminal? Just save the bird and the cool uncle. Okay, fine. But the rules of time travel here are a closed loop. Everything they do in the past already happened. They throw rocks at themselves in Hagrid's hut. They howled to distract the werewolf. Harry casts the Patronus to save himself. It's a paradox. If Harry hadn't gone back in time, he would have died, but he had to survive to go back in time. My brain hurts just trying to explain it. It's a narrative cheat code. And if they have this technology, why don't they use it for anything else? Oh no, Voldemort rose to power. Just spin the necklace a few thousand times, go back and push baby Tom Riddle down the stairs. Problem solved. But no, we only use it for high school scheduling conflicts and saving exotic pets. The flight on Buckbeak to save Sirius is visually stunning, I'll give them that. Hogwarts looks amazing. But Sirius flying away on a hippogriff, where is he going? He's a wanted man on a mythical creature. That's not exactly low profile. Don't mind me, just a murderer on a giant bird passing through. The movie ends on a freeze frame of Harry's face, a blurry, distorted freeze frame that looks like a distorted YouTube thumbnail. It is the weirdest ending shot in cinema history. He's flying on his new broom, the Firebolt, and bam, blur face, credits. It's so abrupt. It's like the editor just gave up and hit render. Despite all my roasting, I have to admit, the vibe of this movie is unmatched. It stopped being a kid's fairy tale and started being a real story with stakes. It showed us that the adults in this world are incompetent, flawed, or just plain absent. Harry has to grow up because nobody else is going to save him properly. And the cinematography? Chef's kiss. The way the camera moves through the clock tower mechanism, the color palette, it makes the world feel ancient and cold. It fits the theme of fear, because that's what this story is really about. Fear. Fear of the bad guys, fear of the teachers, fear of yourself. The Patronus charm is the ultimate metaphor here. You have to find a happy memory to fight off the depression monsters. And it's actually really beautiful. It's a lesson about mental health wrapped in a wizard duel. Even in the darkest times, you have to find that light inside you. Cheesy, maybe, but effective. So, is Prisoner of Azkaban the best movie? Technically, probably yes. Is it a flawless masterpiece? Absolutely not. It's full of plot holes, time travel nonsense, and questionable aesthetic choices. But it's our mess. It's the movie that made us realize this series was going to be something special. It's the one where we learn that sometimes the bad guys are good guys, the rats are men, and teachers are werewolves. It taught us to question authority and that maybe, just maybe, following the rules isn't as important as doing what's right, or at least doing what saves your godfather from having his soul sucked out. Ultimately, I watch it for the vibes. I watch it for Gary Oldman being dramatic, I watch it for David Thewlis being the tired dad we all need, and I watch it to laugh at how ridiculous the time-turner logic is. It's a wild ride from start to finish. And honestly, if I had a time turner, I wouldn't use it to save the world either. I'd probably just use it to get more sleep or fix embarrassing moments from high school. So I can't really judge Hermione too harshly. She's just trying to survive the academic year. We've all been there. So that's the tea on Azkaban. It's dark, it's moody, it's got werewolves and time loops. It's the turning point of the saga. After this, things just get worse for Harry. People die, Voldemort comes back, and the lighting gets even darker. But for this one moment, they won. They saved the day. Even if they let the actual villain escape. Seriously, Pettigrew getting away is the biggest fumble in history. They had him. Just stun him. Put him in a cage. But no, let's stand around and chat while the moon rises. Classic Gryffindor behavior. Brave, but dumb. But hey, that's showbiz, baby. Without that mistake, we wouldn't have the rest of the books. So, thanks Harry and Ron for being incompetent enough to keep the franchise going. We appreciate your sacrifice. Now go eat some chocolate.